Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kastuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from beautiful Delhi, India. This is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kastuba Das. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Hastinapur. This is the land of the Kuru dynasty, also known as Delhi. What did it say about the air condition today in Delhi?
No, it's bad over there. Don't even.
Oh no, it's Mara. What was it?
Oh, about the air quality.
Look it up on your weather.
Smoke.
500.
It used to say smoke.
Yeah, the
But now
air quality index is 500, which is severe, which means that it may cause respiratory effects, even for healthy people, and serious health impacts for people with lung or heart diseases. The health impacts may be experienced even during light physical activity.
Like what?
Easy there, guys. Easy.
Movement? Like, do you not
Mara, we're gonna have to take a little easy on the shopping, okay? Just slow it down a little bit there, okay?
I'll see what I can do. We wanted to go on a bicycle.
We were gonna go on a bicycle tour, Old Delhi.
Really?
That's what we're planning on doing. Yeah.
Look at you two. Look at you two. You guys
Look at
this isn't the kind of stuff we ever did in India before. You're like a whole.
We never did this in India, me and Kastuba. We were
do a bicycle tour.
slumming it. We slummed it so bad back then. It was ridiculous in retrospect how bad we slummed it. We went to India without a credit card. We can't even think of traveling like that anymore. I told you that one time I came back from India. I had $1 in my pocket.
I had many times like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how we used to do it. There's a lot of trust, a lot of faith in God. And what you didn't notice also, my friend, was my new earrings. Huh?
Oh, I didn't see that. Let me hold it.
What do you think about my new Radhe? Yes.
All right. Okay.
I was waiting for a comment. I
prefer them to
earrings.
I prefer them to the really big ones you used to wear.
The gigantic ones I wore when the show first started. I looked like a
was...
big, sort of like an out of shape drag queen.
Some people can pull it off,
like giant earrings.
Madhava can pull that off. But I don't think you were pulling it off.
Give me something for this.
I got to see them in real life, but they seem tasteful, Raghunath.
Thank you. We can get a message board count. Write it on the message board. Keep them.
We want to have a vote.
Keep them or lose them. And then I'm going to explain something to y'all.
Are you wearing them out of like reverence to always remember?
That's
or is it to look
interesting
cool?
you say them. Let's see what people say here.
Cool. You're doing it for the pleasure of the Lord?
I dig them.
Timothy Tucker, Genevieve.
7 out of 10 from Richard.
Here, let's get a close up of that ear. Don't look too close inside.
See the hair in your ear there.
Everyone likes them.
Everyone thinks I should get my ears clean. Okay, let's pause it. Well, guess what? People, if you don't like them, or if you like them, I'm not doing it for you anyway. If y'all, I'm doing to please Krishna. What do you think about that, Kastuba?
Are you willing to do whatever to please Krishna, or only the things that make you look cool?
Dressing quite fashionably.
Speaking of dressing fashionably, both of you. Yesterday, Mara looked like a Bridge Bossy girl, like
She was like
like herding buffalo.
She was herding buffalo yesterday. She was a mess. Her hair was a mess.
And you look like a punda, like at Bunky Bihari Temple. Now both of you look like you cleaned
in our
up.
city outfits. You know what's interesting? Checking into the hotel, everyone are devotees. As soon as they see me, my tattoos are like Haribo, Jai Radhe.
Oh, yeah.
Where were you? Were you in Mathura? Were you in
Delhi's
Vrindavan?
like
We are
that,
Bridge
yeah.
Bosses. Delhi is like that. Everybody worships Krishna here. It's amazing.
And you know what? ISKCON has its tentacles. Its spiritual tentacles have really gone out. There's so many temples in Delhi.
It's amazing.
ISKCON temples, yeah, and so people really kind of connect strong to that. They recognize it when they see it, right?
You remember the old
Western
Delhi
person.
temple? You ever go to the
old Delhi temple?
Not old Delhi, meaning a long time ago.
The old New Delhi temple.
Yeah.
You got to start a deli in Delhi called the New Delhi Delhi.
Okay. I'll do that.
Maybe America
All right.
started.
Prabhu. So we're gonna have a few days of R&R. We had a great day today.
Yeah.
We went to this Pandit Raghunath's house. His name was also Raghunath. He's the Vrindavan Raghunath.
Yeah, I've been there before. Yeah.
He's got 3,000 shalagram shilas he showed me today. He was telling me all about, he was giving me little instructions on puja. It was very nice.
Okay. You learned something?
Learned some stuff. He fed us well. Yeah.
Right.
It was really nice.
You know what
nice.
I did?
We
I
said
was
goodbye to Govardhan Hill today. I went to Govardhan Hill. I sat in peace at 6 a.m. in Govardhan Hills, and I just spoke freely to Govardhan. I shared my prayers. I shared my hopes. I shared my sadness. I shared my lamentation. And then finally I said,
did you cry?
I didn't cry, but almost did. And finally I said, Govardhan, I'm
yours.
here for nobody. Not my kids, not Miss Mara, not my ex, I'm here for you. What would you like from me? I'm here and I'm open. And then everyone will get the best of me. If I'm just here for Govardhan, everybody else will get the best of me.
What did Govardhan say to you?
Govardhan says, you keep going. You go. You go, Raghu. It's just, you know what? You know what's great? You know how people take their wedding vows after 25 years, they redo their wedding vows? I feel, both me and Mara feel like Vrindavan has the effect of saying, I'm going to recommit to my bhakti.
What was your commitment?
I'm going to study more. I'm going to put more time to study and more very focused hearing of my japa. And I'm just going to recommit to becoming a devotee. And I think it's important to, just like people recommit their wedding vows, to recommit their commitment to Krishna. And they're like, I'm over you, Maya. I know your tricks. You've caught me again and again. I've fallen into that trap again. It's like sometimes there's like a little, on the sidewalk, the sidewalk's not even and you trip over it. Okay, trip over it. And next time look for it. But it's like you trip again and again and again over the same spot. Come on. It's like, Maya, I know your tricks. You trick me the same time again and again. And it's a recommitment to truth, a recommitment to love, a recommit to tolerance, a recommitment to getting over gossip, fault finding, and complaining. That's what I walked away with today.
Nice.
And I can see Mara too. Mara is definitely a little. I feel like she's upped her game as well.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, you have.
You know what I did today?
What did you do, Prabhu?
Do you care, or are you just going to
read
do.
Chat board. I am reading the chat board. People are sending me private messages about earrings. Okay. All right, go ahead.
I've received a wonderful invitation from some others. First of all, I've been up since 1:30. I can't believe I'm doing the show at 8 p.m. at night or something like that.
I've been up since 3:30. So you beat me. Okay. If it is a competition, you beat me.
I put in some good work, in terms of writing.
Oh, good for you. Good.
Then,
those are magic hours, I think, 1:30, 2:30.
No question. Yeah. And then, but this afternoon, Tara Prabhu, my friend, and I received the invitation from a whole family of others right?
A family of others.
Yeah, they all listen to the show. Kripanidhi Prabhu and his wife, Karuna Mai, they're Prabhupada disciples. And they have a daughter named Chaya, and she cooked for us. She's a really expert cook. And they have a house. You would love this house, Raghunath. It's one of those really cool kind of houses that's got like a natural kind of fireplace in it, and it's cow dung walls and nice arches in there, and it's right on the bank of the Jalangi River.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Tara and I rode our bikes out there. It's their home is like kind of past the Jagannath temple, so it's a good distance away. And we rode our bicycles there. It's beautiful. And, you go through the real Bengali countryside, the real Navadweep, and the mango groves. It's so nice. And
by the way, Kostuba is talking about Mayapur. If you want to come on pilgrimage with me, Kostuba and Mara, we are doing a mini pilgrimage. It's like a week in Mayapur.
It's so worth it.
It's so nice. It's just such a nice place. And you know what? You can also come for the Flower Festival that weekend. You come in Friday.
Coming to Mumbai.
Saturday's a Flower Festival. You chill out on Sunday, and Monday we all fly to Calcutta. That's the plan. Go to our website, wisdomofthesages.com, and check that out. It's not super expensive, and it's going to be good, and it's filling up, which is exciting.
Yeah, it's so nice. So then we got to his home. We're really hot, and just rode the bikes for a long way, and then took a bath in the Jalangi River, Raghunath. That is a beautiful river. You feel like you're floating.
It's a beautiful river. It's beautiful. There's just date palm trees growing and sugar cane and
banyan trees, and it's blue water, and you're floating in there, and you just know that it's like pure spiritual nectar, that water. Like you're getting blessed at every moment.
Yeah.
And then they fed us really well. They have another daughter. She lives in Vrindavan. I'm forgetting what her name was now. She wasn't there. You know what her name was? I think it was like Jalangi Priya. And they're telling me their story, how they're from Canada, but it's
a good name. Jalangi.
That girl up there, like they were planning to come to Mayapur, and they stopped in Vrindavan. She was like, I want to stay here. She's young, like a teenager. That's a little bold,
Vrindavan has that effect. I'm staying here. Because there's another effect that when we come from the West and go to these places, these holy places, I was realizing this today, that just seeing like, wow, everybody worships Krishna. It's like, it sets like, it like recalibrates your brain. Like I'm not the weird odd one out. Like I'm walking around with a bead bag at the mall and, in New York, and people think I'm a nutcase because I'm mumbling and I'm rattling things that sound like marbles in a bag. And everyone's like, what are you doing? Did you break your hand? But everyone's got bead bags. Everybody's got T-lock on. If you don't have T-lock on, you're like, oh, this is embarrassing. It's embarrassing that I don't have T-lock on. It's like everyone gets it. Everyone gets it. And there's something about seeing a community of people doing that changes the way our brains think.
Yeah. Yeah. Any case, they really took nice care of us. And I gave a little gift because I had one of those tote bags from a couple years ago at the Italy retreat.
Oh, you gave him an Italy tote bag. That's nice.
Yeah, we got to pump up more of those.
We need more tote bags in our life. Yes.
No, they're really good ones. So the artist, Grahi did the art on them, and they're really beautiful.
Let's make those. Let's make those a state. We got to really do more merchandise. Yeah, people like to consume things in the West.
Well, you need a bag.
New bags. Latest realization. Ready? Everything is a distraction. Everything is a distraction from the holy name. Everything. My whole phone thing. My phone is going to be re-regulated. It's nowhere near me when I chant japa. That's my thing now. Nowhere near.
How about it's nowhere near you when you do the show?
Well,
do you do that too? Extend it.
Sometimes I get important information coming in. You might.
I don't think you do.
Affect us.
I don't think you do. Mara can handle that. She can take it in. Okay, Mara's with that. Okay, it's concluded.
All right.
I'm on it.
Anything else?
You want some
announcements from Mara? Yeah.
We have Back to Recovery group meetings at 12:30 and 1 o'clock Eastern time today. And then this Sunday for our Patreon members, Anu is offering his postural yoga class
Postural.
at 10 a.m. Yeah, pain-free postural. Yeah, and he offers it once a month, so it's a Sunday at 10 a.m. for our Patreon people.
Okay.
And
Hey,
do we have any guest for?
yeah, I was going to
Sunday or
say that
Monday? Okay.
it should be Sunday, although there's a possibility it may be Monday. So we'll plan on Sunday.
Monday, happy days.
We're gonna one step out of Vrindavan, and he's already back to that. Look at that. Okay. I thought you were gonna up the game.
I am upping it.
Sit on it, Raghunath. Okay. You got that one. Yeah, we're gonna have Genevieve back. You know, she's got a new record out, which is like
Genevieve's
live.
going to be on the show?
Yeah.
Oh, on the day that I'm
Great.
traveling.
No, well, it may not be. It may be Sunday. You're not traveling on Sunday, right?
No, I'm traveling
On Monday. So she may come Sunday.
But
She
we
may
have a
come Monday.
bicycle tour. Oh no, that's in the morning. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I would do if I were you, Raghunath, there in Delhi?
Yeah.
I've never been there, but I heard there's this street in Delhi where it's like all the Parathawalas set up their stands.
Paratha Wallace.
You know?
You know, I'm
And
not
Delhi's
quite a
the place
Paratha
you get
guy
your best-
myself.
Really?
I'm not a Paratha guy.
Get out.
But I am a Kachori guy. I've changed.
I thought you were be like a Paratha guy. You got that North Indian flavor about you.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway,
I'm gonna check it
I think
out.
Mara,
I'm
I
gonna
think
go
Mara would
to,
appreciate seeing that place.
I would like it.
Ayush
yeah.
Pandey's got some good ideas for me. He's listening on Zoom today. Ayush, you got to tell me all your favorite spots in Delhi.
Maybe Ayush can tell us where that Paratha alley is in the street.
All right,
Okay.
let's get on with some serious business.
Let's
Prabhu.
do it.
Like
Yeah,
life is
Shannon.
short. We're trying to distract ourselves. We're trying to create a
Let's
fantasy.
recommit.
When the real thing is, life is incredibly short. It's fragile. It's not like Israel and Hamas are at war. It's like there's a war with material nature trying to take us down, and we're not getting serious about life. That's
Okay.
that's the insanity of it. I think I'm safe. Come on.
You know,
I watch-
since
I
you
watch
brought that up,
Cars.
Raghunath,
Huh?
since you brought that up, there's something I wanted to mention.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah.
And that, you know, we received, because we've been, I mean, I suppose we could do it tomorrow, but anyway, we're into it now. I just feel inspiration. But obviously, there's always so much pain. There's always so much war in this world. And the whole situation with Israel and Palestine is just like, it's heartbreaking to see. It's almost, the emotions are so intense that it almost makes it so hard to try to remedy it in any way. And you know, our hearts go out to everyone. You know, yeah, of course we want to stand up against, you know, any kind of injustices or any kind of cruelty, and at the same time we're sympathizing with innocent people that are existing, you know, on all sides of this.
There's always just some mother with a child getting killed.
Yeah, right.
You know.
And you know, we received a question from Nina, right? Nina
Who's in Israel
Rabinowitz,
right now.
who's in Israel, and a very sincere question that she, you know, she was listing, you know, so much of what, you know, she's going through and what the people in the area are going through, and then she asked this. In one sense, I think she asked the essential question, which was, I'm trying to be a bhakti yogi, and I'm trying to see the soul in every living being. But when we go through when we witness so much pain and so much, the cruelty that we can do to each other, when we witness that, it's so hard, you know, especially if you're living in fear, you know, and so on. It's so hard. So her question was, how can we see under these conditions? She was like, help me, you know, how can we see the soul, the pure soul, right, in every living being, even the ones that are in a sense like quote unquote the enemy, you know, and I'm hesitant to try to even say anything, you know. It's like I'm not going through what the people there are going through there, and it's almost like the emotions around it are all so super intense that it's almost like if you say anything, you get jumped on in all
By
directions.
another group of people. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not, I'm not a like some kind of political science
Analyst.
history major. What I don't have a political
I thought
answer
you
for
were.
it.
Isn't that in part of
No,
your
I'm
bio?
not.
'Cause
I don't have
political
I don't have an
analyst.
answer for it, but at least I don't have an answer on that level. But in answer to Nina's question, like how do we see here's the point. It's only by seeing the soul that we ever overcome these horrible cycles, of cruelty toward back and forth. It's the only answer. Ultimately it's not a political answer. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be working diligently to try to find a way to create peace there. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is it's only seeing the soul in everyone. It's only seeing but there's so many examples of people who were able to do that under incredibly challenging circumstances. You have Nelson Mandela coming out of prison, right? And saying, I don't remember the quote, but he's saying like, I can't bear any animosity towards the people that did this to me. We see that again and again from people that had deep spiritual understanding. It's Nina. I know it's hard, and for everyone in that area and anyone that's affected by this, like directly, I know it's hard. But please remember that it's only through this. It's only through recognizing we are actually truly brothers and sisters on a spiritual level. And the science of that should help us. The clarity of the vision as it's provided through books like the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, that it's a spark of pure spiritual consciousness that illuminates everybody, that animates it, that comes to life, and that all of us are moving through different bodies, being born in different places, in different races, in different ethnic groups, and even in different species. We're moving. We don't belong to any. Ultimately, functionally we may, but like in a temporary way, in a relative way, we may belong to a certain nation, a certain community, a certain race, a certain gender, but actually these are all impositions on the pure soul, and we are all that pure soul, and we can all commune if we can see past the temporary identities, and that's the hope. So it's all the more reason, the more pain we see, the more we should be determined to try to see that. I don't know. I wish I could share more, but maybe you would like to share some thoughts, Rona.
There's always a war going on. If not with humans, in the animal species, there's always something horrific happening. We don't even know the horrific things that are out there. This is what Kali Yuga is, and this is what the material world is. And I can't begin to understand how I would react in such a situation. But sitting in my armchair and speculating about it, I say the same thing. We're spiritual beings. People are getting pulled around by the gunas. We get pulled around, right? We get pulled around by sex desire, by greed, by lust, and we get pulled around by hate. And we try to tribalize ourselves, and we get moved by hate. And to the degree we get moved by hate, we've lost the spiritual game. And that's what it really boils down to. And there's going to be a lot of tests for us not to hate when it seems like, well, this should be hate. The act is hateable. The beings are not. That's a sad thing.
Right.
And that's a hard thing to get. And God knows what we've done in this life or previous lives. God knows what we've done. But we all have the possibility to do the most horrific things, especially when we're motivated by fear and hate. So it's not like because I've been good in this life, I think I'm a pretty good person. We don't know what we've done either. We like to be forgiven when we screw up. And part of even living in this, living on a spiritual path, is to learn that we have to learn to forgive because we're fallible ourselves, and we can do some really horrible things when we're desperate, riddled with fear, and riddled with hate. And so we have to be careful not to fall into the hate category. And the world is very, very divisive right now. And the only light I see out of this is when things get tragic in culture, people move towards either deeper hate, or they move to God. I can't do this anymore. I need a spiritual outlet. So I don't know. Things are shifting in this world, and I believe that there's going to be light somewhere. And for those who are going to, and by the way, I will need counseling if I'm ever in such a severe situation like that too. It's really easy for me to speak right now, but these are just all the practical tools that I have. And, like we do in Bhakti is like, I talk, I give the lecture, and then all of a sudden my world falls apart. And I was like, oh man, that reminds me of that thing I said in class the other day. Now's the time I have to take shelter. Or, oh, this world is temporary. Oh, I don't own these kids. Oh, the soul is eternal. Oh, everybody must die. Oh, the life is temporary. All these things will pop up again and again. That's why we're embracing these things. That's why we're hearing these things. That's why we're trying to imbibe these things, because you never know when you're going to have to pull out one of these things. And like today I have to use this card. Ever see those decks? It's like a deck, and you pull out the card, the Bhagavad Gita deck, and today is, oh, the soul is temporary, or we don't lament for the living nor the dead, or just surrender to me. There's no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me, as pearls are strung on a thread, or never is there time that I did not exist, nor you, nor in the future shall we ever cease to be. We're going to have to pull out these wisdom nuggets. And it's not just people in wartime. It's people who, like I said, get their heart broken. People who get, going through personal hell, physically, with chronic disease, with addiction, etc. There's everything in the material world. It makes you really analyze the material world. And our whole positive attitude for the material world is a joke. There's no positive attitude if there's not spiritual substance to this world. If there's not spiritual substance, this whole world is completely depressing. That's where existential philosophy goes. It's all a big nothing. But we say there is a something, and that we're here to learn lessons, and we're here to apply these spiritual principles to life. And we may not make peace with the material world. We may not see like a lamb embracing a lion. It's not going to happen in this life. I once saw a Jehovah Witness booklet they're handing out, and we said, we can make heaven on earth or something like that. And they had like a lamb hugging a lion or something like that. It's not going to happen. There's always going to be the lion chasing the lamb, and there's always going to be war in the material world. But how I deal with what's going on around me, that's something I'm responsible for. And I'm talking big right now, but I know when my world falls apart, I'm broken, I'm crying, and I'm desperately trying to pull these wisdom nuggets out, and I'm searching out the devotees and the teachers to give me some solace. But I feel like this is all chipping away at my concept of I'm the controller, I'm the enjoyer, etc. These are all like my lessons to learn in this very, very brief life. And again, I may not go through this particular war, but I could also get run down by a car. I could get attacked by a pack of dogs. I mean, tragedy happens at every step. You don't have to wait for World War III for there to be tragedy in your life. You might get it from a tick bite and find yourself, on your back with Lyme disease. Oh, I'm depressed now, Kastuba.
No, come on. Let's get in the Bhagavatam then.
You with me?
Chant
Okay,
the mantras.
Bhagavatam. Something funny I wanted to tell you about, but yes, the Bhagavatam. Ready? Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tatojayam udirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utamashloki bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, All that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Tamarandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Meditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes. With the torchlight of knowledge, I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 6, canto 6, chapter 9, text 12.
So we just read yesterday how the father of the Brahmana Vishvarupa, who was killed by Indra, he was doing his ritual for a special purpose. He wanted to create someone that could kill Indra. And
Screwed up.
he chanted the mantra a little bit wrong. And he's going to get the opposite of it. He's going to get a very powerful being that's going to attack Indra. That's for sure. But because he said it wrong, Indra's going to be able to kill him. But it's all going to come out in a very unusual way. We're going to.
Because Stuba brought up this interesting point that most of these Vedic teachings they're almost like scientific sound vibrations that give you metaphysical rewards. They give you metaphysical rewards, but you got to put in. It's like driving like a car that takes only high-end gasoline. You got to put in that high-end gasoline, huh? It's like a computer.
It's like a computer code. If you can type in, if it requires like 100 keystrokes, if just one of them is wrong, you don't get the effect.
Get the result. But if you can do it, you can manipulate material nature. You can curse people. You can bless people. You can make things appear in your hands. You can learn to float. It's like you can defy material nature, or you learn to tap into subtle material nature that most, lugheads, thick-headed people we're not in tune with. Bhakti is unique because it's using mantras, it's using sound, etc. But it's really the power is in the intention of the sound. And the idea is that Krishna is a real person and he's reciprocating with love. And what was our takeaway yesterday? Krishna is love hungry.
Not power hungry. Not power hungry.
So yeah, it's not just messing around with the metaphysical world with sound, which is also, it's interesting. It's interesting that some ragas can make it rain, or some sounds can break glass, and some sounds can curse a person. Some sounds can bless a person. Some sounds can create progeny. I don't know how that works. It's an interesting metaphysical thing in Vedic teachings, but we're not like, that's not our main thing. That's an interesting thing. It's not the main thing. The main thing is the main thing, which is, how do I connect with God? And that comes through a heart of devotion. And we can refine it. We can refine our mantras. We can refine our singing, our classical singing. We can refine our offerings. But the real thing is the intention and the heart behind it.
Okay. So he's mischanted the mantra. Here comes the result. Text 12.
Text 12. Thereafter, from the southern side of the sacrificial fire known as Unvaharya, came a fearful personality who looked like the destroyer of the entire creation at the end of the millennium.
Okay.
Text 13 to 17, ready? Like arrows released in the four directions, the demon's body grew day after day, tall and blackish. He appeared like a burnt hill and was as lustrous as a bright array of clouds in the evening. The hair on the demon's body and his beard and mustache were the color of melted copper.
Ooh.
Sort of like, right? Melted copper. What is melted copper?
Fiery
red. Like some crazy Celtic guy in a kilt. And his eyes, that's what I'm thinking right now.
Like the guy on The Simpsons?
Yes.
But bigger.
But bigger. Well, he's darkish skin, but a fiery red beard. And his eyes were, his Celts were scary batch themselves. Ever read any Celt?
Okay.
They're the ones who felled Rome. They're fighting naked. Did you ever hear that? How
they have those kilts on, but they're naked underneath the kilt.
No, I think they actually, Mara, look up that up. I think the Celts attacked Rome nude. That's scary.
That's
I'd be if a crazy man was chasing me nude,
With a
I
red
would just
beard?
run.
naked man with a red
fight
beard.
him. I wouldn't fight a nude man.
You
with
give
a
over. You
red
give him
beard.
Rome.
I'd give up my land
Here, take my land.
and take my ranch and start. That's me.
What about your Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
I wouldn't wrestle a naked man. Okay. Oh wait, Mara's got actually insight on this.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, Polybius does seem to verify that a specific group of Celtic people fought practically nude.
Practically nude. What does that mean? Copens.
Practically.
Oh, here's another one.
Wait, there's a lot
The
in here.
Celtic Wars.
You learn a lot here on Wisdom of the Sages.
Did Celtic warriors really go to war naked?
See, this is a topic of discussion here with some of the great thinkers. Anyway, you go.
It seems to be a long article.
Okay, we're gonna
There
just.
was
you-
a
you- if
Celtic
you can-
cult of
we'll-
nudity.
We'll keep reading here.
There was
and
at least
if
a
you
few of them naked. Come on, they're writing articles about it. Probably
They
there
were
was a whole
practically
like
naked.
there was probably a whole platoon of the naked ones.
can- Okay.
Okay, let's go on, please. Sorry for that, but it was interesting.
Melted copper
The hair on the demon's body, and
and his
his eyes were piercing like the midday sun, which is very hard. He appeared unconquerable, as if holding the three worlds on the points of his blazing trident. Dancing and shouting with a loud voice, he made the entire surface of the earth tremble, as if from an earthquake. As he yawned again and again, he seemed to be trying to swallow the whole sky with his mouth, which was as deep as a cave. He seemed to be licking up all the stars in the sky with his tongue and eating the entire universe with his long, sharp teeth. Seeing this gigantic demon, everyone in great fear ran here and there in all directions. Do you know what this
Now-
reminds me of?
Careful.
The day I had to fight Yash Birla's bodyguard. Do you remember that day?
I think he was more terrifying than that guy, but I do remember that day.
All right. This is a good story. I don't know if you have space to tell the story.
I think today
But there was a hulking 220-pound muscle bat that Yash Birla, who's sort of a celebrity of sorts, he said, I want you to, he wanted me to come over and teach jujitsu to him and his 17-year-old son. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll come over. When I got there, first of all, I was just fed by Radha Swami like plates of sweet balls and samosas. And so I was like, well, I'm going to go light today. And he has an entire gym on his roof. And when I get there, Yash is standing there. I don't see his son. And there are these two big ripped guys going, these are my friends. They want to fight you. And I was like, oh, I thought I was just giving a lesson to your son. He's like, no. And then all of a sudden, this horse of a man.
First of all, people need to know who Yash Birla is.
Yash Birla, very interesting guy. He's from a family of very, very pious people who I think they actually
The Birla family was more or less the Rockefeller family of India up until some few decades ago, right? Like they were, if you said who's wealthy in India, you would say the Birla family.
The Birla,
but they're, as you mentioned,
they
pious.
build ashrams
temples
all over
and
India.
ashrams. Yeah,
temples
guest
and
houses.
ashrams. I don't know if this is just like hearsay or not, but the idea was like one of his great grandfathers was like a cloth merchant, and a sadhu came to him and said, if you just gives, I don't know if it's half your money to Krishna, your business will do very good. And he started doing that, and he became one of the wealthiest people in all of India. So anyway,
also I remember when the day before that fight, he was showing us his home, and he was like, right here in this room, my grandfather met with Gandhi and Nehru and others, and this is where they plotted the independence movement for India. Right in this room.
It was plotted in his house. They have photos of them all there in this room. So now I'm on the roof at the gym. I go upstairs. There's two big guys who want to fight me. I thought I was going over for a simple jujitsu lesson with the 17-year-old. I've got a tummy full of aloo parathas, aloo tikis, and God knows what else in my tummy. And now this horse of a man is walking upstairs. He's about 220 pounds, completely ripped. And he says, and this is my bodyguard, Rajesh.
You two will fight.
He says he's a black belt in judo. He is my personal trainer and he's my bodyguard. He too wants to fight you.
He too.
He too wants
You know,
to
when
fight
you have to tell this story, Ragnar, you got to tell this whenever you end up on that beer and biceps
podcast.
thing, podcast. Yeah.
Anyway, I won't tell how it turns out, but
Yeah,
I tapped
they're
him out.
coming.
I tapped him out in less than a minute with a leg lock.
Okay.
People
there you
should
go.
Google Yash Birla
Yeah,
too to
Google
get
Yash Birla.
appropriate.
He's on
He's
on
a
Instagram.
fitness icon guy too.
He's
so
like a
My favorite
fitness
part of the
icon.
story, though, is when. So I think you guys kind of just like warm up and do a few things, a few exercises for a while, and then at a certain point, Yash Birla just goes, "Enough of this. Now you fight." So,
I was trying to teach techniques, and he goes, "Enough! Now you fight." And so you know what? I had to do. I was like, "Okay, I got to go with the biggest guy first." So I fought Rajesh first, and he just picked me up and threw me on my back, which is my best.
that's
fighting
the
position.
advantage.
That's
for-
my advantage, and I quickly.
He wasn't
slipped
ready
around
for
and
that.
Put him in a calf crunch.
There you go,
Scissors,
Ragnar.
knee scissors. I took his back with his leg.
All his
locked
big
up.
muscles didn't mean anything at that point.
But he's so big, he lifted me up, and I fell
you
on
held
his
on.
back. I fell on his tummy. He was on his tummy. I'm on his back with his knee trapped, and then he's like screaming, and he stands up and he falls backwards on top of me, but his knee's caught. So the more weight,
Oh.
his own weight is hurting
Hurting
his
him.
knee. So then
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
screaming. He gets up again, falls forward, and this time I've reached my hand to choke him while his knee was locked, and he tapped out less than a minute. And-
Look at
and
you,
Yash-
Robert.
And Yash said, "Haribo!"
And then he lectured him like that you were a
Then
vegetarian.
then
and
he
he
said,
wasn't?
you're a vegetarian, right? I said, "Yep, all vegetarian, 35 years or 30 years, something like that." And he said, "See, I have a trainer that's trying to get me to eat meat, but you beat him as a vegetarian. Very good. Very good."
And then
I looked at the other
Radnaswamy.
two big guys. And then I looked at the other two big guys and I was like, "Okay, you guys want to fight?" And they were like, "Nah, it's good. We're good." So I got out of fighting them all just by fighting Rajesh.
But Radnaswamy said that Rajesh, then he would go to the temple, like that humbled him, and then he decided, okay, I need to become a devotee now, or something like that, right? Isn't it something like he would visit the temple, something like that?
Yes, he came to the temple because I came to the temple that day, and Radnaswamy goes, "I heard you're doing such great preaching." I go, "Oh, I'm sorry. What are you talking about?" He goes, "Today, a boy named Rajesh came, and he said you have
Rajesh.
defeated him in a fight, and
Now he's
he
surrendering
wants
his
to
life to
know more
Krishna."
about Krishna." Something like this.
That's great.
It was a good
Yeah,
story.
that'll be going on beer and biceps because everybody knows who Yash Birla is there, in Mumbai. and all
Yeah,
that.
he's a nice guy, Yash Birla.
He's wonderful. Love that guy.
Okay.
Very kind to everyone. He would host
Yeah.
hundreds of devotees over there in his home.
Oh yeah.
All right,
you
shall we
guys-
keep reading? Oh, you know what I was going to say about this verse anyway, Raghunath, and it's
What?
a bit of a spoiler, but this horrible demon, this scary, terrifying beast
Yes.
that's just come out of the fire, we're going to find that actually he has the purest devotional heart. He just looks that way.
Mhm. Like
Right,
Rajesh. Rajesh looked intimidating, but he was quite a
He's
sweet
even
man.
more deeply devotional than Rajesh, actually. his prayers that we're going to hear in I think the next chapter, very deep, and Indra's going to be like, hold it, what's going on? I was supposed to kill this demon, but he's actually a really pure devotee. He's purer than me. I have all these desires that I want fulfilled, to be powerful and be the big king and be in charge and defeat my enemies. He doesn't care about any of that. He's like, Krishna, I'm yours. Kill me, don't kill me. It's all entirely up to you. And he's telling Indra, kill me. Come on, you can do it.
Henry on the message board says that the Birlas built hundreds of temples.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were just somewhere. What was the last holy city we were in before Vrindavan? I said, "Well, there's a Birla temple right there." Anyway,
Had you chanted the Nrsinga Kavacha before you went into that?
into that fight,
The
no, I
Narayan
just went in-
Kavacha?
No, I went in just with the tummy full of,
It wasn't just that. Do you know what
Alu
else we
bhaji,
did on that day? Do you remember what that day was?
That was the day they took us to the hospital and they took us to the children's school.
Yeah, we had been traveling all over Mumbai all day.
I was so exhausted, and all I wanted to do was jujitsu that day. It was just, You know what I did? I'm one of these guys. I can't fight if I have food in my stomach. So I'm just going to fast. I'm going to fast because the fight thing was at 3:30. I'm just going to fast all day off. But every place we went, they'd give us this offering. And I'd say, nope, not hungry. Nope, not offering. And what's the thing I like with the big puris?
Oh, a chole bhatura.
Chole bhatura. That's what it was. And they came out with these chole bhaturas, and it was like
Where? I don't remember
2:30.
that.
You don't remember like a chole bhatura? It was like 2:30. Chole bhatura and samosas. And I was like, all right, I'm going to eat them. And I just ate them all. And I stuffed myself. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to go really light in jujitsu. And then it just, anyway.
I saw some meme or something about Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and it showed like some guy's about to fight, and then like the guy just like lays down his back first thing, you know.
I
And
saw that.
I thought of you. I thought of you.
Okay, let's go on, man. I'm
Yeah.
squirreling too much today. The
Definitely.
demigods headed by Indra charged the demon with their
Hold it.
soldiers.
No. You didn't read 18 yet.
The very fearful demon, who is actually the son of Tvasta, covered all the planetary systems by dint of austerity. Therefore, he was named Vrita, or one who
Vritra.
covers everything.
Vritra.
Vritra. The demigods, headed by Indra, charged the demon with their soldiers, striking him with their own transcendental bows and arrows and other weapons. But Vritrasura swallowed up all their weapons. That's a problem.
Oh. It's like, what is that? Gulliver's Traveler. What was that one where there's a big giant and everybody's like trying to take him
Jack and the
down?
Beanstalk.
Not Jack
And
the
Gulliver's
Beanstalk.
Travels. And
Another
Gulliver's
one.
Travels.
Gulliver's. It was a Gulliver's. Yeah.
These are classics. Struck with wonder and disappointment upon seeing the strength of the demon, the demigods lost their own strength. Therefore, they all met together to try to please the super soul,
Okay.
the supreme personality of Godhead Narayan, by worshiping him. It's pretty
Because they
interesting.
know.
In the middle of the battle, they're like, you know what? Let's say a prayer.
And you know, it's not just like, I think it's more than just like sentimental religion that makes them turn to Lord Narayan. Is that they understand, you know, as devas especially, they understand that it's Vishnu, that it's his awareness that's pervading the entire universe, right? It's his influence that it's tying the universe together and maintaining it. And they have this realization that he's all pervasive, that he's within the heart of even this Vritrasura, that he's everywhere.
Mhm.
He's the one that we can go to, right? Indra can't handle this. They have to
No.
go to Narayan. Okay.
All right. The demigods said, the three worlds are created by the five elements, namely earth, ether, air, fire, water, and earth, which are controlled by various demigods, beginning from Lord Brahma. Being
Okay.
very much afraid that the time factor will end our existence, we offer presentations unto time by performing our work as time dictates. The time factor himself, however, is afraid of the supreme personality of Godhead. Therefore, let us now worship the Supreme Lord, who alone can give us all full protection. First of all, Kastuba, I'm not even reading the Sanskrit. I'm sure the Sanskrit is poetic, beautiful, has, you know, alliteration and all the poetic beauties to it. Where do you find stuff this deep? First, explaining how time is an element. It destroys everybody. It's like deep, it's philosophical, and it's also very beautiful. They're saying the personality of God is stronger than time. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm just having some Bhagavatam appreciation.
That's because you've rededicated yourself.
You know what? I have.
And yet, we're going to see that this prayer, it doesn't have the purity of the prayers that Vritrasura will say, because Vritrasura is going to also pray to Narayan, but he's going to ask for nothing but pure devotion. He's not going to say, protect me from my enemies or anything like that.
Well, he's also winning the fight here.
Well, he's going to lose. He's going to lose.
Okay. All right,
He's
ready?
Go down. Yeah.
Free from all material conceptions of existence and never...
Oh, no, you're right. I'm sorry. Please.
Free from all material conceptions of existence and never wonderstruck by anything, the Lord is always jubilant and fully satisfied by his own spiritual perfection.
It's beautiful.
He has no material designations, and therefore he is steady and unattached.
It's our material designations, my identification with my body, with my temporary circumstances, that creates unsteadiness, right, in my life. Otherwise, we're steady. Otherwise, we're secure.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's
That
supreme.
Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only shelter of everyone. Anyone desiring to be protected by others is certainly
this
a
is
great
good.
fool who desires to cross the sea by holding onto the tail of a dog. Ever try that?
It won't work.
It won't work. You'll sink the
I
dog
take a
too.
really strong swimmer of a dog.
Yeah.
I don't think any dog could help you like
I
that.
think that's a good analogy. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? It brings us back to this troublesome world we live in, where like there's like a huge explosion going on now that's in the news, but that explosion is happening privately, personally, within families, within states, within towns. There's tragedies happen. It's a tragic world. And that's why when I first read yoga books, and you have these like swamis and saints saying the material world is a miserable place, I'd be like, what is up with these negative Nellies, these Debbie Downers? Why are they saying the world's don't they understand the world's a great place? You got to turn that frown upside down, Swami. No, they're actually analyzing what reality.
Now you understand.
Now I understand. Why? Because there's tragedy every moment, and you might not even be facing it. There's tragedies that are going on that no one will ever find out about. Secret, creepy tragedies that are happening. Sometimes all you got to do is poke around, and you'll find out horrible things are happening. You know who knows this stuff? Cops. Cops know all the crazy things that are going on out there. You know, you and me don't even deal with it. Or we have a lot of people on the show who are either we have people that are cops, we have people that are firemen, we have people that are EMTs or nurses or doctors or emergency room people that listen to the show, and they're seeing tragedy on a
Different
regular
kind
basis.
of counselors.
What's that?
Counselors as well.
Counselors, yeah, because people also go through their own personal mental tragedies they're suffering with, from some trauma. It's a tragic world.
Okay.
Now I'm depressed again. No, so we're taking shelter of the personality of Godhead. And if you're not tragic, if you haven't had some tragedy, give it time. That's how the material world works. We'll experience some type of tragedy, and hopefully that tragedy, by hearing the Bhagavatam, by hearing wisdom literature, by association with devotees, we'll know how to react to that tragedy, or we'll react a little better than we did maybe last week or last year or a decade ago.
Thank you, Raghunath.
Text 22.
I think we end there.
Oh, okay. That's right. The show's over. Boy,
You're staying in Delhi for a few days.
We're staying in Delhi. We're going to unwind. I've got recommendations from 3 senior devotees. That is, Raghunath, you're doing too much. I've
been telling you this a long time.
You have been, but I don't listen to you. Burijan Prabhu, who's Burijan Prabhu, who's a great soul. His parting words when I left Govardhan was, Raghunath, you have to care for yourself, or you'll have nothing.
Love
to give
yourself.
to anybody. Put
self-care, self-love.
I love myself so much.
That's when you went out and got the earrings? Is that when you got the earrings? You said, okay, you're right. I went out and got myself some earrings.
God.
So you do yourself a little pampering while you're there. Mary, you make sure that he gets the mani, the petty. Give him the mani, the petty, and all that.
We're going to get that.
Yes.
All right. You guys want some takeaways today?
Please.
I got good stuff. Recommit to your Bhakti.
Recommit.
Yeah.
That's a t-shirt right there.
Mm-hmm.
Progress on the chat board.
He's gone now.
I'm back.
Don't pay any attention.
I'm back.
Okay. Everything is a distraction from the holy name.
Especially the chat board.
Yeah.
Back to the chat board. Speaking of distractions. Life is short. War is everywhere. Get serious about Bhagavatam.
Oh.
Let's get serious.
Oh, man. Now, you see, Mary she said, no.
Seeing the soul is the only answer.
That's right.
To the degree we are moved by hate, we've lost our spiritual way.
The train's off the tracks. Yeah.
We have to learn. We have to learn forgiveness because we're fallible.
Because we ourselves want to be forgiven.
That's right.
You know
Blessed
what?
are the peacemakers. Blessed are
Oh.
those that forgive. They will be forgiven, right?
I was a fisherman. I want to be forgiven for that. I was cruel. In high school, I was a cruel kid. In junior high, I was more cruel.
Whoa.
I never told you that.
Let it all
Mara.
out.
I was a jerk, but you know what? I feel like I'm forgiven. You know what? My Lord is forgiven. Lord
sure?
Ram, Lord Krishna is Patita Pavana. I'm positive. The Lord forgives you if you surrender. But you gotta stop your old ways.
Okay.
You know. So I want to be forgiven, and I have to learn to forgive as well. And
You
it's hard
forgive
to
me, Rana.
forgive. People do some. You're always forgiven, Prabhu,
Thank you.
for all your sins that you've done.
Against you.
Positive attitude is a joke without spiritual substance.
Uh-huh.
Next.
True. And I was the Lord of positive outlook. I had a song called Positive
Oh, you were the Lord, were you?
Outlook. I was the Lord of positive outlook. Yeah. Cheers. Good day, Mr. Kastua.
Would Mara be the lady of powerful outlook?
Yeah, my Lord and Lady.
It's a tragic world. Take shelter of Krishna.
Ever hear devotees say that? I sing these prayers to my Lord and Lady, like Radha and Krishna, my Lord and Lady.
What? No, I haven't
Never
heard
heard
that
people describe Krishna and Radha as my
Lord and Lady.
My Lord and
No,
Lady.
I haven't heard that.
Translations.
We read something.
We read
we read
that
something
every
every
day.
morning.
It says to my Lord and Lady.
Yeah.
That's someone that went to
Person
the British
again.
schools. Indian person that went to
Yeah.
the British schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To my Lord and Lady.
All right. And
Oh, that's it.
I think
For
you're
our
gonna like
takeaways,
this.
people need more takeaways, Mara.
I can actually
more?
give you more, but I
Give me
just
some.
felt
They've
like
been
it's
good. You
a
just
long
haven't
time.
been listening to them all.
Exactly.
I
can just
apply them to my life on a
repeat
regular
them.
basis, Prabhu.
Okay. What was the last one?
It's a tragic world.
No,
Take
not
shelter
you,
of
Mara.
the
I was asking.
and-
Oh, you're
no.
quizzing me.
That's
It's a tragic world. Take shelter of the holy name. Boo.
okay.
And stop tripping over the same Maya.
Stop tripping.
Stop tripping. How about you could stop? You could stop there and say stop tripping.
Stop tripping over the same mind. I get it.
I feel like reading the Mahabharata now that I'm in Singapore.
Yeah, let's put our
Mahabharata?
Mahabharata podcast back on.
Go to the
I wish I had
podcast.
my. I wish I had
hey.
an excavator and my metal detector. I might find like cool things from the past here.
Hey, by the
They're
way,
always- Oh,
you know, Raghunath and I have a plan that for our subscribers that we're going to put out. He and I are each going to put out about a half-hour podcast every week, reading from different texts and sharing our thoughts about them.
it's like a sweet baby Krishna, but nicely recorded.
Yeah, and Cody's,
It'll be
but
live.
she's game. She's ready to do some sound engineering. And all
It's
that.
going to be a nicely recorded thing that you can just listen to of Krishna Leela. I'll be reading from cool Krishna Leelas. That's everything we like it because we want to thank all of our people who have been contributing to the podcast. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. I wouldn't be able to buy these earrings if you weren't podcast. By the way, I got this hotel for free.
Self-care. Let me get
You wanna
some
hear it?
earrings.
I got a credit card, and if I signed up for it and spent a certain amount of money, I get a certain amount of points. So I got this hotel for free. Mara thinks I'm a big spender. I'm a cheapskate.
Yeah.
I'm the cheapest guy. Oh, Kastuba. Oh, you know what I was going to say about tragedy is I understand tragedy because I follow dash cam.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. Dash cam something. Dash cam crashes.
Crashes.
And it's just like people are getting in car accidents all the time. Like all
This
the time.
fascination, though, I'm worried about the fascination.
Everything's going normal. They're just driving down the highway like you do every day, and a tire comes off a car. And all of a sudden, another car drives
Rubbing it.
over that tire, and it makes that car flip out. That's happening and can happen at any moment. You don't have to wait for World War III. We can have tragedy anytime, people. And that's
Let it
why,
go, Roman.
Why did I bring that up? All right,
Because
let's talk
it's time-
about some good news.
Because it's time to let that go as you recommit. No
Let's
more of
talk
that.
some
Let it
good
go.
news.
Renounce it.
Aaron. All right.
Mayor, you just go ahead and unsubscribe him from that one. Dash can.
I have a whole list of tragedy things I follow. Landslides, natural
Oh
disasters.
my God. I saw
Dash
something
cam.
on that Nature is Metal the other day, Raghunath.
Nature's metal.
It was the most horrible thing I've ever seen in my life. I still haven't recovered from it. It was one of those dragons. What do they call those things?
Komodo dragons. Oh,
Did you
don't tell
see
me
it?
I know what you're talking about. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Don't
You see?
mention it. Komodo dragons are monsters. They are monsters.
We'll get out of this
Another
world,
planet.
everyone. We need to transcend this world and go back to Godhead, because
They
if you
must
see
be
one
what
of those
if you don't
Komodo
believe
dragons.
in hell, imagine being born in the island of Komodo, where they all live, and you're the only one there, and you're their food.
You saw it though, right? I mean, worse than being eaten.
I read it.
Worse than